Hello everyone and welcome to another Maths tutorial video. Now I'll be discussing Form 4 Additional Mathematics, Chapter 7 Statistics, Long Question Example 1. By the way guys, we have already completed Chapter 6 Coordinate Geometry. Okay, let me discuss this Example 1 long question from Chapter 7 Statistics. The table below shows the number of cups of drinks sold from 8 AM to 9 AM for 60 consecutive days. So as you can see here, these are the classes for the number of cups of drinks sold, and these are the respective days. Okay, proceed to read the question. So the question has to draw a histogram to represent the above data and then estimate the mode from the histogram. Okay, so far we have finding the mode from the data, but then we haven't covered the calculation of mode from the histogram. So now you're going to cover that. For those of you who have no idea how to calculate the mode, don't worry guys, I'm going to explain to you. So please hold on. So move on to the question B. So once we calculate the mode from the histogram, the question asks us to calculate the mean, which means the average data guys. Alright guys, I hope you will attempt this question in the future. If you could manage to solve this question, well done guys. But if you can't solve this question, no worries, I'm going to show you the step-by-step working and the solutions now. Okay, let's start to show the solution. Okay, in the question, they ask us to draw a histogram. So, our first question arises. How to draw a histogram first of all? Don't worry guys, I'm going to show you the step now. So, the first step before drawing a histogram is, we need to find the upper boundary and the lower boundary of the data. Okay, once we find the upper boundary and the lower boundary, and then we compare with the frequency respectively, then we can proceed to plot the graph of frequency versus boundaries of data. These boundaries is also meaning lower boundary and upper boundary guys, especially lower boundary of the first data and the upper boundary of the second and third and so on. So this is how your histogram is formed. Okay, let me show you one simple example how to find boundaries. So to find boundaries, okay, let me show you the question. Okay, to find the boundary, lower boundary of the second data is very easy guys. You can just plus 39 plus 40 divided by 2 and you can get 39.5. It's very obvious. But how can we find the lower boundary of the first data? Because we do not have any previous data. So it's very simple guys. We add one imaginary data such that the imaginary one is 30 to 34. So that particular 34, you plus with 35, you divide by 2, you get your lower boundary 34.5. So that is your lower boundary of your first data class guys. So 34.5. So that's the example I've explained to you. So 34 plus 35 divided by 2, so you get your answer 34.5. So this is your one example guys, but in this case you need to do not only for lower boundary, but you have to do for the upper boundaries as well. Okay, I'm going to show you the full working of how I did the boundaries. Okay, let me pull this thing up. Okay, so this is the number of cups of drink sold, and then this is the number of days. Okay, I redraw another table guys for you to explain the boundaries. So in the question, they've already given us the class and then we convert it into a boundaries. Okay, you might ask me a question, why we need to calculate the boundaries first of all? Okay, it's very simple guys. Okay, when you have a boundaries, you can see that there is a continuity, 34.5 to 39.5, and then there is no gap in between guys. So it's a continuous graph. But then when you see a data over here, the graph, if you plot, for example, if you plot a simple bar chart, your graph might not be continuous. You see your 39 and 40, there is a gap in between. So when you have a gap between, it's difficult for us to calculate the analysis of the data guys. So that is why we calculate the boundaries. Okay, so these are the respective boundaries. So 12, 10, 16, 14 and 8. Okay, the same thing applies for the end part guys. So 59.5. So how to calculate the 59.5? There is no other set of data at the end over here. So as you see here, there is no data. So you add the imaginary data below, so 60 to 64. That particular 59 you plus with 60, you divide by 2, and that's how you get your 59.5 over here, guys. Okay, you have your respective boundaries, you have your respective frequency. Now what you can do, you can proceed to plot the histogram. By the way, guys, I've already finished plot the histogram for you. Let me show you the histogram now. Okay, please hold on. Okay, this is the histogram. Okay, I'm showing you this, the title, histogram of number of days versus number of cups of drink sold. So this is the y-axis. Your y-axis, you can write number of days or you can write frequency, guys. It's up to you. Okay, so this is your x-axis, number of cups of drink sold. So you plot accordingly 34.5, 39.5, 44.5, 49.5, 54.5, and your last boundary is 59.5. Okay, in this case, I use the scale of 2 cm to 1.5 units, guys. Okay, so if you measure here, you will have 2 cm is to 1.5 units. Okay, the scale is up to you, guys. You can use as appropriate scale, but you have to make sure that your graph is big enough so it's visible, otherwise your mark will get deducted, guys. Okay, the second question is how to find the mode. We have already successfully plot our histogram, so how are we going to plot our mode? So it's very simple, guys. So can you see the highest data over here? So you have a set of data over here. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Can you see the highest one? So from here, what we're going to do is very simple. We're going to cross a line, a diagonal line, from this end to the other end, from the highest data point to the next data point. So we cross a line over here and we draw a diagonal line over here. So you form a intersection point. So from that particular intersection point, so what you're going to do is you're going to pull it down, all the way down, to find your respective point, guys. So this is how you find your mode. So in this case, when you observe, your mode is actually skewed to the right hand side, which is also makes sense, because when you see that right after your mode, your next data is almost pretty close to your mode class, guys. That's why your right hand side data is big and your mode is skewed to the right hand side. So it's not balanced, guys, your data. Okay, in this case, so how to find your mode? So by the way, from the graph, we have already find out our mode, which is 48.25 cups. So this is your final answer, guys. So it's very easy. So you cross the line, and then what you do, you draw a dotted line all the way down until here. Okay, from here you get 48.25 cups. So this is your first answer, guys. We have already successfully find our mode. So from the graph, mode is approximate 48.25 cups. Okay, now we will proceed to the find question B, which is calculate the mean, guys. Okay, let me turn to the next page. Okay, to calculate mean for the group data, we have to use this formula. Mean is equals to summation of fx divided of summation of f. This f is actually the frequency, guys. Okay, this x, in this case, we will be calculating the midpoint of the data. So the step one is we need to calculate the midpoint for each data, guys, because it's difficult for us to estimate group data. So in which group exactly, category we want to calculate. So it's recommended to us to find a midpoint instead. So midpoint is just a higher limit plus with the lower limit, lower limit plus the higher limit of the data, divide by 2, you get the midpoint, which is in this case 35 plus 39 divided by 2, you get this 37. This is your first example. Okay, I've already find the remaining midpoints over here with the respective frequency 37, 42, 47, 52 and 57, with the frequency 12, 10, 16, 14 and 8. So in this case, you just substitute in the mean. So what you're going to do is 37 times with 12 and then plus with 42 times with 10 plus with 47 times with 16 plus 52 times with 14 plus 57 times with 8. Okay, you divide the whole thing, the summation of fx, and then you plus with the whole frequency over here. In the question, they've already mentioned the whole frequency is 60, guys. Okay, you can just write here 60, or if you wish to write in the full working, it's up to you. So if you've already write the full working and then divide by 12 plus 10 plus 16 plus 14 plus 8. So in this case, you'll get 2800 divided by 60. So you'll get your mean is approximate 46.67. So this is your final answer, guys. So your mean will be equals to 46.67 cups. So this is your final answer. Okay, let me turn back to the question paper for your reference. Okay. Alright guys, that is all for my step-by-step working and solution for this question. Any question or feedback, feel free to put in the comment section below. And before that, do you find this question easy or difficult? And could you manage to solve this question? So please put down in the comment section below as well. If you like this video, please give a thumbs up. If you haven't subscribed to the channel, please do subscribe to the channel and hit the bell icon for more upcoming mathematics tutorial videos. Alright guys, thank you everyone for your support, and I will see you in the next video.